Yes, we're live. All right, awesome. Very exciting. Well, hello, everyone. I am Natasha Tomlinson with my home group Real Estate. It is August 2024. And I know that a lot of you have the dream, the goal of home ownership. And there's a lot of information out there, a lot of misinformation as well. And the goal of tonight's broadcast is to shed a little bit of light and give you some things to think about, all right, as you continue along your real estate journey. All right. Fabulous. Well, let's give everyone just 2 minutes to pop in here to the call today, just to make sure that everyone had the opportunity to dive in. I'm definitely excited to do this again. I used to do these in person, and that was pre-COVID. We all know what happened there. And, I decided this is just a much better venue. It's more convenient to reach people. And, let me know what you think. Let me know if you feel the same or if you would prefer to go back to in-person events. This way you can touch more people, educate more people in the process. But I'm certainly open to meeting folks one-on-one to discuss their real estate needs and goals. So by all means, let me know your thoughts. Okay. Exciting. Now I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. No issues whatsoever there. Or wherever you are listening from, I thank you for chiming in, whether you are at home, on the couch, sitting at the kitchen table, or you're driving. Certainly appreciate your time. And thank you for that. A question for everyone, just curious what you're hearing out there about the real estate market, right? Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, what you're hearing and what you're feeling about the information that you're receiving about today's Arizona real estate market. If you would comment and share, that would be greatly appreciated. Another question we have is, what is home to you? Yes, what is home to you? Is home a condo? Is it a house? Is it a manufactured home located in a community lifestyle community with golf and spas and things of that nature? Do you require 2 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 7 bedrooms? Do you want to be on the golf course? Do you want to be on a lake? Is there a particular city that you prefer? Just curious, what people are feeling right now. If you prefer to be in Buckeye, Maricopa, Apache Junction, Chandler, you want to be right in the heart of downtown, or you want to be right in Old Town Scottsdale, or right in Carolyn, what does home look like to you? I'm curious. So by all means, feel free to comment below. Great. Well, let's move on over to the presentation. All right. We've had past 2 minutes here. And so let's get on with it. Why not? Why not? A lot of people out there are transitioning from renting in recent years to home ownership. And some people are first-time home buyers. Remember, a first-time home buyer is someone who has not owned real estate in the last 3 years. So maybe you owned real estate with yourself or a former spouse or partner 10 years ago, let's say, and that relationship dissolved. and you no longer own that property. You've been renting ever since. Well, if you were to enter the market today, you would be considered a first-time home buyer and could be eligible for a number of the first-time home buyer programs that are out there. So keep that in mind. All right. Now, who am I? Again, I am Natasha Tomlinson. I'm a realtor here in Arizona, licensed since 2005. So I've certainly seen my share of different markets, buyer's market, seller's market, where the advantage is to the seller because there's more people who can afford a home than there are homes available for sale. We saw a lot of that during the pandemic. You may have heard that one of your friends or loved ones, or maybe you were trying to purchase a house during that time. And, you were working to look at a house. You tried to make a showing appointment for 2 p.m. and you came to realize that you weren't the only one looking to see that home at 2 p.m., that there were 11 people behind you fighting to see that same property. You ended up in multiple offer situations, and it was not the experience that you anticipated. I will tell you that today that is not the case. Today we are seeing more of a balanced market, where the advantage is slight to the seller, but we do have low demand because prices have increased, because of interest rates have been higher than normal over the past 24 months, really. And so we're seeing more of a balanced market, and even a buyer's market. The advantages to the buyer in certain cities, mainly in the outskirts. Let's say like Apache Junction, Buckeye, Maricopa, Casa Grande, would be Santan Valley, Queen Creek. These are areas that we would consider buyers markets at this point, when there is more inventory, more homes available for sale than buyers who are willing and able to purchase a home at this particular time in that market. All right, so something to keep in mind. Remember also that real estate is hyper local. All right, again, it's just really important as to what is important to you. Do you want to be closer to major employment districts like Chandler, Tolleson, Gilbert, Anthem? And that appreciation, those markets perform differently than cities in the outskirts like Buckeye, Santan Valley, Casa Grande, which right now, again, as I mentioned before, are a little bit more favorable to the home buyer. So as I did mention, I mentioned that we would go over some common mistakes that we see in today's marketplace. And so let's start off, shall we, with, mistake number one. And mistake number one, I would say, is kind of heartbreaking, because it's mistake number one is people counting themselves out before even getting started. This mistake, it really, as I mentioned, it's a bit heartbreaking because it stops people from even trying to achieve their dream of home ownership. So let's break that down with a few common misconceptions and shed light on the reality of home buying qualifications. All right. First, credit score. And I say credit score, how do you feel? Right? We know that the average credit score is down, people's debts are up, right? And a lot of people are looking to achieve that perfect credit score before they buy a home. I've had people say to me, "Hey, Natasha, my credit, it's not perfect. So I cannot possibly qualify for a mortgage at this time. There's no way that I can qualify." But here's the truth. While a higher score could certainly get you a better interest rate, it can often qualify you for a mortgage with a score as low as 550, 500 in some cases. And sometimes, as I said, sometimes even lower. Now, let's address this debt myth. I often hear potential buyers worry about student loans, past medical bills, car payments. They assume any debt automatically disqualifies them. And the reality is, it's more about your debt to income ratio than your actual debt amount, than the debt that you carry. Lenders typically look for a debt to income ratio, DTI, of 43% or lower, but that varies with different programs. So don't let these debts count you out. Make sure to explore your options. Another misconception is about income. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, I don't make enough money to buy a house. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to buy a house. Here's the thing. There's no set income requirement for buying a home. It's about how your income relates to the home price and your other debts. Plus, there are programs designed specifically for low to moderate income buyers. And it could surprise you what you could afford. All right. So here's an example. All right. I work with a young couple who thought, there's no way they could buy because of the student loan debt. And they almost gave up on even starting, right? They had completely talked themselves out. But when we sat down and looked at their entire financial picture with them and a loan professional that I work with, we found that they actually qualify for a first-time homebuyer program. They're now happily settled in their new home, building equity instead of paying rent and paying someone else's mortgage. This brings me to the point. It's just so important to get accurate, up-to-date information. The home buying landscape is always changing, and there are new programs that pop up, new options become available all the time. What was true 5 years ago or even last year may not be the case today. So don't count yourself out. Great. Now let's move on to number 2. Number 2 would be to not take advantage of down payment assistance programs. This is a huge one, peeps. Okay, huge. Arizona offers several fantastic programs designed specifically to help you get into a home. And missing out could cost you thousands of dollars. There are down payment assistance programs that are specific to an area, to a location, that are dependent on income. They may require you to stay in the home for a certain amount of time, and some are even 100% financing. All right. So let's not make this mistake. Let's not make this mistake of forgetting about down payment assistance programs. Please don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Great, great. Mistake number 3. Mistake number 3, folks. A lot of people get excited about builders. They see them on TV, they walk in, it smells new, it looks new. You can picture yourself cooking in that kitchen. You can't wait. And the thing is, those are model homes that have every possible feature that could go in a home. More than likely, that is not the home that you will end up with unless you go to the design center and you can afford all of the upgrades that are offered to you. Now, builders, don't get me wrong, builders have some fantastic programs going on right now. But just like everything, you have to read the fine print. And did you know that the representative that's in there, they do have a real estate license, but they represent the builder. Now, Arizona, you are allowed to represent yourself, and that representative is allowed to represent the builder and you. But who really has your best interest? The best case scenario, in my opinion, is to have your own realtor go in there with you to go over options, to explain to you which lot may be best, talk about site location for you, talk about features, which ones may be best for you to purchase at through the builder, and which ones you may want to get later on, which are cost effective upgrades and which aren't, to see what other programs are available to you, what other discounts are available to you, to make sure that you have an opportunity to do various inspections throughout the process and make sure that everything is up to par. So if you are considering new construction, let's set up a free call to discuss the pros and cons in detail. All right, great. Let's hop on over to mistake number 4. Mistake number 4 is getting intimidated by the numbers. All right. What we know is that with all things, let's jump onto, yes, thank you. With all things, there are a cost. And although you have down payment assistance, there are still some costs involved in purchasing a home. And people get really intimidated by some of the numbers that are there. Cost for an inspection. And an inspection, a general home inspection, can run usually between $400 to $600, maybe more, depending on the size of the home, depending on the area. But folks, this is the most important or the largest purchase that most people make in a lifetime. And to spend $400, $500, $600, $700 on a full home inspection is money well spent, in my opinion. All right. An appraisal cost is another thing, and it really benefits your lender to make sure that the value is there, that when they're lending you money, that the money that they're lending you is based on the value of the home. And this independent third-party appraisal is typically a buyer cost. And so people are curious about that. And, every day we're not used to writing, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars checks. If you decide to not do down payment assistance programs and you're paying your down payment, that can be 3.5%, 5%, 10%, 20%, depending on your loan program. And this is a significant amount of money. I mean, there's no question about it. And it's important to have all that information in front of you, to have someone walk you through these costs, to understand what it is that you're paying for, which are hard costs, which costs are negotiable, which costs you could potentially have the other party, the seller, provide you a credit to offset your initial fee. That is always a possibility as well. All of these things we discussed during a home consultation, but today we're really just giving a brief overview. Now let's move on to mistake number 5 that I see people do. They see a house, it looks good, and it smells good, and they're already picturing themselves in the kitchen. They're already planning the barbecues and who they're inviting over for the holidays. And I'm sure this house is fine. I looked at it and it's fine. I don't need to do an inspection. Do an inspection. Or, my uncle knows good. He fixes his own house, and he can come take a look at it. Good enough. I don't need to pay those $400, $500, $600. They can do it. Well, I can tell you that, in my opinion, is a major mistake. The home inspection is your one chance to look at the critical components in a house. I mean, they're going to look at the structural, the electrical, the plumbing of the house. Look at the exterior. Look at the HVAC, the AC unit. Take a look at the roof. If there's solar, then take a look at the solar units, the water heater, and give you a full report of everything, all the critical components in that house with pictures, and have you review everything with you and address your questions. All right. talk about any safety concerns or which ones may be considered more of a honey-do list type item, all right? That information is invaluable, right? And then, of course, we can always go back and negotiate for some of those repairs to be taken care of before you get the keys. Again, in this market, it's more likely to be able to negotiate those items. And these are all things that we discuss at a one-on-one buyer's consultation. All right, great. Mistake number 6 that I see often, there's a lot of paperwork that comes with a home purchase. All right, there's a lot of paperwork, and if this is the first time you're doing this, you may just gloss over some of the information that's provided to you, but I encourage you not to do that. For instance, the Homeowners Association rules and regulations, which we call the covenants, conditions, and restrictions, the CCNRs. After you find your home, your offer is accepted, you are provided your CCNRs to review, okay? And you have 5 days to review these documents. And you take the time to look over these documents with a fine-tooth comb. There are thousands of HOAs, homeowners associations in the state of Arizona, and they're all a little bit different. And you want to make sure that not only the home is to your liking, but the community is to your liking, right? That is important as well. You may have seen an article in the news recently of a gentleman out in Goodyear, all right? He is a homeowner out in Goodyear, and he lives within a homeowners association. And he decided, it's hot, and he decided that he wanted to give out water in front of his house over the past few years. It's hot, it's 100 plus degrees, it's 110 degrees. He wanted to do a great deed and give out water to his community. Well, the homeowners association didn't appreciate that. They didn't like the amount of traffic that it was bringing to the community, and so they fined him for this activity, saying that it was in violation of the covenants, conditions, and restrictions. Another instance that we see quite often, just let's say someone decides they want a home base. They purchase this cute little home, and they're excited about the home, and there isn't an RV gate, but they decide they're going to put in an RV gate in there I own the house, right? I'm going to put in an RV gate, and I'm going to have an RV behind there. We're going to travel during the summer months, and this will be our home base. Well, the issue is that homeowners association doesn't allow anything behind the gate to be shown over the wall. This is something that could be in those rules and regulations, and that wouldn't make you happy, because that was your vision for this property, and now you learn that vision can't happen there. And if you want to have an RV in this community, you need to rent space somewhere else, so that's an additional cost. All right. Or a lot of people love their pets. They love their pets, and some communities, some condo associations, I've noticed, have a provision that they only allow small dogs. They only allow dogs up to 25 pounds, up to 40 pounds. They don't allow certain breeds in a community. This can be an issue as well. Maybe you say to yourself, you know what? I was raised in a farm, and I don't want to be out in the outskirts of town. I want to be in town, but I love getting that fresh produce. I love having those chickens. I love my fresh eggs, and I'm going to have some chickens in my yard. Well, no. That homeowners association says, no, you won't. And I'm not saying they're all made the same. They are not created equal, but that is why it is so important to read those documents and to ask the questions during the timelines that are provided to you. All right, did I drive that point home? I feel like I did, right? All right, read those documents. Okay, great. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Another common mistake that we see is not hiring a real estate warrior. Now you say, Natasha, what is a real estate warrior? I mean, give me a break, right? A real estate warrior, I'll tell you what a real estate warrior is. One who has been battle tested, one who is committed to your long-term financial success. A real estate warrior is someone who wants you to build equity faster, to retire earlier, because they have helped you secure the best deal in the best neighborhood. You know, a real estate warrior is focused on your future, not just today, but on your future moving forward, and is aimed at, if you have a family, getting your kids in better schools. Real estate warriors go above and beyond. When someone says it's impossible, we don't believe them. We don't limit ourselves to what is in the MLS, into the multiple listing service. Instead, we call in favors, we knock on doors, we canvass and call neighborhoods, we leverage social media to find a home that suits your needs within your budget. We negotiate hard. We analyze listings within your search criteria to find ones that we can negotiate to fit your monthly budget. Our goal is to make you an insanely raving fan, eager to tell anyone and everyone about your amazing realtor experience. All right. So in essence, a real estate warrior is your advocate, your strategist, your guide through the complex world of real estate. We're committed to your success and satisfaction, both now and in the long run. So, are you ready to work for a warrior? No, you knew that was coming. Come on now. Couldn't have been a surprise. But there's no reason for you to navigate the home buying journey alone. It's important for you to get the right guidance, right preparation, and to avoid costly mistakes and find a home that truly meets your needs and sets you up for future success. It is possible. I've worked with folks who have done it time and time again, and I encourage you to take the steps to think about, okay, am I renting? When is my lease up? Am I looking to move before the holidays, before the end of the year? Am I looking to move at the first of 2025? Does middle next year work best? And all of that is fine. You may think, oh, I have to work on so many things. But I encourage you to speak with a lending professional. And I'm more than happy to make that recommendation for you. There are some excellent lending professionals out there, and not to rely solely on your bank. You know, let's backtrack on that. There's another mistake that people make. That they go to their bank and say, okay, I'm ready to purchase a home. What can you do? What can it qualify for? And the bank tells you about the loan programs that they offer. But those are not the only loan programs available to you. And they may have their in-house down payment assistance program. But that is not the only down payment assistance program available to you. So again, feel free to reach out directly. I am more than happy to connect you with a loan officer, a lending professional, to see what your buying power is today and what it could be in the future. All right. Well, folks, I certainly hope you learned something, one thing today. And Feedback is always appreciated. Love to hear from you guys. Remember, most importantly, you're out there. Don't skip those inspections. Read the documents. Ask questions. If you don't fully understand what's being told to you, ask people. Repeat it. It's perfectly okay to repeat it, to explain it a little bit deeper. I don't quite get this. I don't know that term. What does that mean? That's fine. That's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. And choose someone who is a good listener, a good advocate, a warrior, and is ready to work for you. Now, let me give you an idea of what right now the rules have changed a bit, and some of us have done home buyer consultations before, either on a call, on a Zoom call, or in person before deciding to work with that person. You're conducting a quick interview, get an idea of what this real estate professional is all about, and if you want to work with them, and how long you want to work with them. What does that look like? How much does it cost? What are you doing for me? What am I getting for that money? Can I ask the seller to provide a credit, which is known as a concession, a seller concession, to offset some of these costs? All of these questions need to take place. What are the timelines? Are you a true negotiator? How many people do you work with at any given time? These are all important questions. How available are you to me? I work nights, I work days. I'm going to go and look out and look at the houses first, narrow it down, and then my life partner is going to come and see my top 3. All common. And again, encourage you to do that. Missy just has to be on video. Every time I do a video, she just has to be on video. Goodness gracious. All right. Well, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but yes, Missy, the real estate mascot, has a few words to say also. Looks like I need to make some better choices in lighting. Yikes. Anyway, let's put some information up here for you guys so you have an idea what I'm talking about. You know how to get a hold of me. Don't be shy with those real estate questions. Don't be shy. Uh-oh. Looks like we have a bit of a delay. Some lovely technical difficulties. Gotta love it. Oh, well. All right. Thank you for joining. All right. Let me make sure that we get everyone covered here. Make sure you know how to contact me directly if you're looking for information about the real estate process here in Arizona. Absolutely, absolutely. Always we are here to help. Maybe. All right. There we go. Nope. Like I said, this is the first one that I've done in a while. And I'm excited to say that this will be every week. And, with things get better with time, right? So you just keep doing them. You have less ums, less you knows, more streamlined information. And it's just about getting the word out there and addressing people's questions or concerns at this stage of the game. Well, folks, I thank you very much for chiming in. I know life is busy, life gets hectic, and I truly appreciate your time. And next time we will have a lending professional here to talk about, maybe the next one will be about down payment assistance programs. And then we'll do another one specific to a loan type, like say VA loans. And I'll do another one specific to self-employed individuals. And then we'll do another one with the FHA mortgage. We'll do loan programs available for condo living. There's so many different programs out there. We'll talk about reverse mortgages as well. That is also something that is on a lot of people's lips as people are looking to retire and trying to understand what their next steps are. So again, tune in here every week, Thursday night, and we will discuss various topics related to buying real estate in Arizona. I was on a call earlier today with Lawrence Yoon. He's an economist with the National Association of Realtors. And he made a statement that I just love. All right. And a lot of people say that they want to build wealth. They want to build a legacy for themselves and for their family that lives out generations. They just don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. And they're concerned about their financial health. They're concerned about their longevity. And in America, he mentioned, if you want to build wealth in America, you have to own part of America. Real estate is a key component of that. Home ownership is a key component in having wealth in America. All right. Again, folks, if I can assist you with your real estate needs, here's my contact information. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a good night and be well.